guarantee. High truth, I got no need. Fuck around with some nosebleeds. Got a wake-up call, almost OD'd. Got no need to pull punches. Got no need to fall back. Been an addict since 13. Let the masses know that that's that. I tapped in faith from a long while. Spent the better of a year in the nose dive. In the better of a decade feeling hostile. Getting drunk as fuck, taking shots till I'm blacked out. Wasted, running, trusting no one. Couldn't say shit, couldn't face the judgment. Couldn't speak fact, I could face emotions. I never learned how, cause the pills are supposed to. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold me back. This way since 13, punk rockin' a young fiend. Used to medicate, spitting Marshall Mathers as a young buck, getting fucking blasted in a back alley. I'm a thoroughbred, addict plastered on my leather jacket. 5 finger my discount that these fuck boys know nothing about. Pass a 40 ounce and I'll rock it. Still ain't got no gods yet. Been in hell, no comment yet. I fucked reality is obvious. Have you looked around and shit lately? The whole world's gone crazy. We're war crimes, we in lockstep, but that's another topic, gotta save me. Tempted fate for a long while. Spent the better of a year in the nosedive. In the better of a decade feeling hostile. Getting drunk as fuck and taking shots till I'm blacked out. Wasted, running, trusting no one. Couldn't say shit, couldn't face the judgment. Couldn't speak fact, I could face emotion. I never learned how, cause the pills are supposed to. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold me back. This time I break free of that self-hate held a deep sea. When I speak truth, turn to power and chant my word craft. Call it alchemy. I got no need to pull punches. Got no need to fall back. I made myself my own god. I want the world to follow my track. I said goodbye to my old life. Made moves on the quick shot my whole life. Instead of letting hate keep me sidelined, I let love be the guide and define mine. It's fine time I ignited. Fuck any shit from no one. Attachment done and opinions fuck them. Sick of being no one that amounts to nothing. You can take that handheld out and fuck it. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold it back. Hold it down, can't hold me back.
Afraid, small traveler. Remember, it holds importance for you to be what you are and be seen where you are by random gazers like me.
My God, where are you when I need you most? I fell on down face first and now I feel the curse. I've been haunted by demons who come to push me and pull me up while they rip me at the seams. I stress, I guess it's about time that I learn to confess to you. Recognize I'm more blessed than a lot, it's true. All the while there's something weighing me down. I fought bloody knuckles, filthy hands for a crown. Build me up, make me whole, all I want is control. Slurred speech, limbs numb, broken soul in my numb. This to the God in the mirror, this about my liquid quick fix. About the blur of my vision and the depression. I was swimming, I was drowning. Thinking worse than the worst, at least it's how I perceived. I know now that I'm the source, and the surge just to feel complete will no longer torture me. It's on God, it's on me, it's on God, it's on me. No longer torture me, no longer torture me. No longer torture me. Bloody nose, sore feet, some 80-hour weeks, working 2 jobs with dope dealers praying to each. Now you tell me how you deal. They got the powdered solution, I got the using to fight sleep and make them hands mean. Addiction can creep, they crawling got me slow, suck me whole. It's no wonder all of a sudden lost control, but no one can know. Ashamed to face a weakness, fear to find another urge and drag and chain me to the deep end in a feedback loop. Press snooze and low loot. You repeat that too much, I promise you'll lose. Lay grass and refocus my breath. Feel some air in my lungs. I've been a man, now I gotta become. It's on God. It's on me. It's on God. It's on me.
What up, truthers?
No longer torture me. No longer torture me.
It's called On God On Me.
No longer.
This one's followed up by a song called Reflections that is got a Kari feature on it. Not gonna run that one just yet. We'll probably exit the stream with that song, the Reflections featuring Kari. Pretty dope. I actually got that song and the Reflections song on a little 7-inch vinyl that St. Ripley released recently. So always remember to support the local artists and let them know you show them love and buy their merch, man. Speaking of merch, ooh, check the new merch. This is a 1 of 3 piece. This is my piece. Enlighten has one of these, and then I just sold another one to one other person. So only 3 people got this little black and white hoodie piece. So hey, share the link. We're gonna do a merch giveaway. If we get 20 viewers tonight on the stream at one time, if that viewer count hits 20 up there, if it hits 20, we're about to do a little merch giveaway. Somebody's gonna be getting a free piece of the Talkin' Truth first edition drop. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, if you enjoy the content, please share it. Let people know what's going on. We're about to start this interview up. I'm going to pull him in here. I got a little bit of a new format tonight, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Welcome, everyone. Let's get this fucking thing started up. I'm gonna pull him in really quick, and we'll get this thing going.
Hey, what's good, bro?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah. Hey, Chad, let us know if we got good audio on both of us. Let us know if we're sounding okay. Appreciate everybody stopping there. How you doing tonight, man?
Chilling, just chilling. It's at the rehearsal space, so if it's a little loud in the background, it's there's some band playing next door, so apologize in advance.
Hey, no biggie. It's not bad at all. I apologize for the train. I got that thing. I gotta reach out and touch that bitch. The red line's right there.
Are you in Chicago then?
Yeah, I'm right up in Rogers Park,
Okay.
off of Morrison Jarvis area up here. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah, I could throw a rock at that thing and hit it pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
Shit, man. So are you originally from Chicago yourself?
Burbs originally. Yeah,
Okay.
I lived in the burbs and went to school out at Northern Illinois University. Kind of like hit out in the burbs and did like some shows and shit. Did quite a bit of shows out in the burbs for many years. And then just about 2.5 years ago, I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go. So I moved my ass to Chicago and now I'm here.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Did you make it out to the city a lot? Being from the burbs, you were over here quite a
Yeah,
bit?
I mean, I was talking to my friend the other night about it. Just like when there are big shows going on, I come out. Like I remember seeing the Oh My's and seeing like,
Oh, awesome.
like I've seen Supa and heard Everybody a million times. Those guys, Saba of course, and Mick and all that shit. So, I've been just kind of on the sidelines watching, plotting, but until a couple years ago, I really decided to make my entrance,
That's fire. What do you think the most important thing the city has taught you is so far?
Just living in the city, or you mean like the music scene, or what?
Yeah, living in the city. Like, what's the most important thing the city has taught you, like even outside of music?
Outside of music, shit. Learn how to spend your money better because it's a lot more expensive out here. That's the only thing I can really think of off top. Yeah, it's quite a bit more expensive. I went from like the burbs to here, and it was just like, yeah, your pocket gets drained a lot quicker, even just at the grocery store. And then there's just like random shit for, you got to get a sticker on your car, you know what I mean? And then there's like a parking ticket if you like let your meter lapse for more than like 5 minutes. That
Right.
kind of stuff. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
They poach you for the tickets. We had a boot on
I
our
was in
car
a
like a
record-
month ago.
You got a boot?
They booted us
Oh.
during the pandemic, man. And it was for tickets that were like 5 over, 6 over, some bullshit like speeding cameras. Like, Literally didn't even have like pulled, like we weren't legit and pulled over. It was just those camera shit. So.
Yeah, that'll happen. They're ruthless, man. Sorry to hear that for you.
Oh well, we got it taken care of. We're chilling now. So, where did the name Saint Ripley come from?
So it's two parts, right? I had originally been going by Fiction for many years, and just I knew that was never going to be like a permanent name, and it just a full-time stage name never came because I was in a duo called Filthy Hands, so it really wasn't really important what my stage name was. And then when I started pivoting back towards like solo work, when my partner decided to move, over facts, switch creative gears, I was like, all right, I gotta think of a better name. So the first album I did, my debut record, mixtape, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's a concept album. The main character loses his marbles and thinks God's speaking to him.
Okay.
So I like the idea of like saint, and that's why that part got picked. And then Ripley, I'm sure you've seen the Alien movies.
Yep.
Yeah, Ellen Ripley, she's just a total fucking badass. I wanted to pick something like that. So I thought Saint Ripley, and then I just kind of stuck. I mean, initially I was my thought was Saint Vincent, and then I looked it up, and then there's an artist named Saint Vincent, and I was like, oh shit, so that's not original at all. And I just moved towards Saint Ripley.
Awesome. Next question for you: what does hip hop mean to you? Why is it so important?
It gave me a voice, dude. To be honest, like I didn't, growing up as like a kid in the burbs, I didn't really, especially in like the era of ringtone rap, like I didn't understand really, what you could do and say with hip hop. I was like, I also grew up in like I grew up in punk rock. That's my origin story, right? If I'm a superhero. And so I didn't really understand a whole lot of it until I had a friend move in from Gary, Indiana, and he's like, let me put you on. Let me really put you on. He showed me the All Eyes on Me record by Tupac and the Lucy Ford EPs by Atmosphere. Shout out Nick if you're watching right now. But and I've been like trying to like form punk bands for a number of years, but all my friends were in my twin brothers band, so like nobody wanted to be in my fucking band. So I just was like, it just like consumed me at that point, and it was always kind of like a pipe dream, and it got me out of. I did the path of like go to college and do all that shit that your parents shove down your throat, and I was just miserably unhappy. Developed some really bad like habits, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it pulled me out. It helped me, I mean I did the work, you know what I mean? But like it gave me a voice and helped me pull myself out of that. It's that, very typical hip hop saved my life shit, but it did, in a lot of ways. So I'm like forever grateful, even though it wasn't like my first love as far as music's concerned. It did save my life in a lot of ways. So
that's fire. Yeah, I say it's cliche all the time, but I mean it's true. So you gotta say it sometimes. Let me see. What was I had another. I think one of my favorite things about the project is in particular is like it sounds so different. And you talk about like how you have you were a fan of punk rock and stuff. It shows in the first song off the rip. Like you're screaming in there a little bit, and I love it, bro. It sounds different. Like it's not. And I'm really bad at like being like needy for that boom bappy sound almost. Like if it's not like sounding like if it sounds too mainstream or if it doesn't have like enough instruments in it, I'm like okay, it's whatever, this is boring. But like the whole project is like just a roller coaster of different sounds, and your voice sounds different throughout the whole thing. It's really well put together. I love the whole thing, man. It's awesome.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that, and gratitude to you, anybody out there who's listening right now who has listened. Did I miss the question in there?
No, I didn't ask a question. I just ended up having a thought there that I wanted to put out.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that.
For sure. So one thing I like to do is incorporate some questions that involve the brand and kind of introduce you to Talkin' Truth a little bit off the rip. So the tree is a very prevalent thing for Talking Truth. It represents growth, and there's 4 different parts to it. So throughout the interview, I'll highlight 4 different questions that'll represent the tree. And the first one for you represents the roots. They represent your core values because they hold you down as a person and give you something to stand on. So what would you say are a couple of your core values?
It's funny, you and I were talking about like ripping things up by the root and starting over, planting fresh on the DM, you know, core value wise, honesty's super important to me. Helpfulness, you know, lifting people up, like just community shit. I want everybody to succeed, and I'm like, man, it's nothing but love for me for everybody, you know. And I think we had in punk rock, it was very much as someone falls down, you pick them back up. Mm-hmm. And that's something that's just kind of my ethos, I'd say. And that's what I'd say my foundation is. That's fire.
How do you find confidence in yourself? Has it ever been a struggle? Is that something you're still like coming into? Like,
yeah, dude, how does that work? That's a great question. Shit. Yeah, I mentioned I had some problems with like substances, like bad. Yeah. Like, we'll just say that I was just drinking. We'll just leave it at that for now, right? I was drinking every day for many years, and didn't believe in myself, didn't love myself, really fucking hated myself, to be straight up honest. And yeah, man, it's been a struggle, like no doubt. And I think like men, we need to talk about this shit because like it's important to know that like we're not alone and like not having confidence, feeling like shit, feeling depressed, like, and there's just there's a way to overcome it, and you gotta find strength in yourself, and you gotta cultivate that on your own. No one's gonna do that for you. No substance is gonna give that to you. You know, like you ultimately, you're the master of your own destiny. I don't say you, I mean we, us, you know, us, the collective us. We're all the masters of our own destiny, and we have to find our own strength. And yeah, it's not always easy. So.
Let me get that truth. That's fire. Yeah, I mean, I personally struggle with substance abuse and addiction and shit like that, and it's just it is amazing that like hip hop can bring people together and make other people realize that you're not going through that shit alone, and you're not the only one to have gone through that. So, I mean, thank you so much for like putting that shit out there and being able to, you know, express yourself like that, because it's definitely not something that's easy to do. And like you said, we definitely need to have more conversations about it, and that's one of the reasons I started this platform, was so we could have more conversations about mental health and how hip hop can help that. So who would you say are a couple of your favorite artists, and how do they inspire you?
Damn. Shit. I mean, on a more like national level of like what has inspired me, I listen to a lot of like the Distillers and Leftover Crack, which are like more punk rock, right?
Okay.
And those are like, especially Leftover Crack's very politically driven, Rage Against the Machine, that kind of stuff. But then on hip hop side, you know, like of course like Kendrick and Lauryn Hill, like the MCs, Pac, of course. But then, I mean, on a local level, you know, like obviously like there's guys like Mick and Hurt Everybody and shit. Just, I mean, I got so many friends that are doing this shit too, and acquaintances that, you know, just inspire me on such a great level. You know what I mean? Like seeing what Chance did and what Vic did and all those guys, how they had to come up when I was like at my worst of the worst, the hitting the bottle and stuff. Like that's been such an inspiration as well. So, the list could go on and on. Shit.
Oh yeah, I think they've definitely. I mean, it's not even just them, but there's just a great foundation in Chicago for building each other up and making great art. So I hope it definitely continues, and I think it will. So, how did we're coming up on a year now for COVID shit? How did all that affect your creativity and your ability to create?
Creation wise, not a problem. You know what I mean? I was plenty of time to be in the studio.
Yeah.
It did affect me really, really negatively in the sense of like I quit my job. My last day at my job, we parted ways is probably a better way to put it, right? Mm-hmm. in January. January 31st is my last day, and I was like going out trying to go to as many shows as I could throughout February and March, and really like meeting promoters, meeting booking agents, meeting all the people who like make these shows happen. I remember it was like March 14th or something like that. Daylight Tone and Johnny, they played at like what was it, Emporium, and I like met the
Okay.
booking agent there and was like, yo, like let's set something up. I've got all these great ideas, I got connections. And the hope was to get on or to set up a tour at some point and rock the rest of 2020 out on tour. And yeah, the world had different plans. So creatively, not a problem. Everything else just total, So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different than I expected. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that I was just speaking on it a little bit before. I was talking about how I bought the vinyl that you put out and how important it is for us to support independent artists like you. So I just speak on how important that is, and like, is there any other way that, like, how else other than purchasing merch are we able to support somebody like you who's just starting out?
Yeah, I think the algorithms, we live and die by these fucking algorithms, whether we like it or not. I think the best way to contribute directly is to purchase merch, purchase vinyl, purchase the record on Bandcamp. I think we're going to start seeing, especially with NFTs coming around, we're going to start seeing people pivoting towards, having some like essentially stock in an artist, whether that be Bandcamp or whether that be via NFT or whatever. But it's a slow turn that way, I think. But in the interim, please add me to your playlist. Like the shit if you're listening. Share it on your stories. Gas me up to your friends. Word of mouth is like number one. And come out once these shows start. I'm already trying to like set things up. I don't want to. Nothing's set in stone, so I don't want to talk too much on that. But like,
Word. Speaking on the project itself, God Complex, what was the inspiration behind the project?
it was initially Thoughts and Prayers too. I had this whole plot line. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but there's a storyline about a dude losing his marbles, and I was going to continue on that plot line. I had some sketches recorded. I had some very political stuff because Thoughts and Prayers is very political.
Okay.
The climate was not appropriate. Like I'm just anti-establishment, anti-capitalism. I'll put it that way.
Word.
I don't support either party. I fucking disdain. I have so much disdain. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous.
Same way.
Oh God. And I was voicing that, and I was catching a lot of feedback or a lot of negative. I was catching flack for voicing my opinion, so I decided, like, yo, this isn't the climate for this. I'll wait till Biden gets elected, and then I'll release the political songs. So I pulled everything political off. Then I had some personal shit pop off, which you can listen to on like Silhouettes. I talk about it. And a lot of people just accusing me of some major ego issues, which is like, and gaslighting the shit out of me, making me feel crazy. So telling me I got a God complex, Messiah complex. I had to start going to therapy and all this shit, and only to find out that, like, no, dude, I'm not crazy. I'm like totally like a normal fucking person who's got all my shit together, sober, getting my shit's together. And I was really doubting that for a while. So it pivoted. The record pivoted from this, politically driven album to this like really, kind of interpersonal thing where I added some tracks about my personal life and picked and choose what was initially on Thoughts and Prayers too. Long answer, but that's the answer.
Awesome. Very, very well said. Did you have a favorite song to make off of that project in particular? Like one that was like, all right, that was the one.
Yeah. I gotta pull up the track list. Otherwise, I'm fuck this shit up. Let me see. Man, Run was produced by Nate Fox, and that one, my buddy Alex laid guitars on. We had been sitting on that for Jordan and I, who's was the other member of Filthy Hands. He goes by 23 Chris now, but he and I wrote that years and years ago. We retracked it and added some like 2021 effects on there, some auto tune, some bluesy riffs, all this at the other. I'd say that was my favorite to make, for sure.
Awesome. Hey, shout out to Anthony and Tim coming through the stream. Tim's got a question actually. Who would be the ideal person to collaborate with in the future?
Shit, I'm picky. I'm so picky. I've turned down a lot of stuff, and because I want to make sure that like when this does explode, because it will, I have no doubt. I'm going to push until it does.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that it's not like I'm not working with any like, fuck shit people who whatever. But shit, I mean, I'm open to working with anybody as long as they've got talent and they are serious about their craft. In a perfect world, God, shit, where do I start? But Chicago scene, I'd love to take another shot at working with Mick again. I think he and I could do another. I think if we did another song, we could really make something pop. So.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. If you're ever having creator's block, what's something that you might do to get rid of that and get back on track?
Shake the cobwebs. That's what I would say. I was in like a Q&A session with Raven Lene. I don't know if you know who she is. But
Fire.
And like she was talking about having creator's block, writer's block, writer's block or whatever. And I was like, I told her, I was like, yeah, what I do is I just pivot towards something else creative. Like me, it's collage. I'll just like bust out all these magazines that I have and I'll just like go to town. And usually once I put my energy there, I can then pivot back and it's not as, the hill doesn't seem so high,
Yeah, that's cool. I've never heard anybody say that they collage before. That's tight. I like that.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Let's see. So I got another branded question for you. This one, the second part of the tree is the body of the tree, and that represents the people that you keep around you. So can you just speak on the importance of having people around you that have the same vision and that want to build in the same way that you do? Because I feel like it definitely makes the music sound better and it makes your life way easier. Yeah,
there's this like clip. I'm sure you've probably seen it. It's one of those ones that recirculates every like 6 months or so, and it's Snoop Dogg talking to A$AP Rocky. And he's saying like, you gotta be careful about who you keep around you. You can like try to like help your friends out and like try to bring people up with you and all that, but if they don't want it and they're not ready, then it is what it is. And sometimes you just kind of gotta cut ties and move on. And I've found it's really, really, really unfortunate because some of the people that I've had closest to in my life over the last 6 months to a year, as they see me grow, I don't want to talk to their feelings because I don't know what's going on in their heads, but I've had to get my space from that. And it's unfortunate because it's people I love, but like at the same time, what's come into my life has been so much more fruitful and like amazing. Like I've just got so many more amazing creative collaborators like Alex Fumo, who kind of helped spearhead a lot of the mixing on here. My friend Phoenix, she and I are a new connection and we're working a ton on stuff. Yeah, you got to find like-minded people, birds of a feather, as they say, and if you're around people who are on some fuck shit, drinking and using drugs and shit like all day, every day, nothing wrong with a little bit here and there, but like if it's 24/7, you're going to be doing the same 24/7, not you, but the collective you, and
right.
Yeah.
Word. As an artist, what would you say is your biggest strength? Like going into the studio, what do you think is like, all right, I'm good. I'm good.
Not freestyling.
Not freestyle. Okay.
Yeah, I would say shit, man. Like for me is I think I'm a phenomenal lyricist. I think that's my strong suit, and I think I'm also really good at encouraging and lifting up others. So yeah, I think that's the short answer.
Awesome. Is there anything that you're working on this year on the other side? Is there anything that you're working on this year that you want to maybe improve going into the studio?
Yeah, it's I want to be a better rounded musician. Just all in all, I picked up scooped the guitar. Um, you know, just being a better like overall producer. I'd love to get a bass. I'd love to improve on scratching. I did a lot of the scratching on God Complex myself. Some of it's samples, but I'd like to get better at that. I think just being a better instrumentalist. I would not say I play any instrument. If someone asked me to play something on guitar, I'd be like, "Fuck you." But yeah.
That's awesome. What does your writing process look like? Do you keep like a journal? Do you go into the studio with something written, trying to match a beat? Do you kind of build a song to the beat as the beat is like? How does that work for you?
It's different every time.
Word.
Mostly though. Yeah, my buddy Tarzan, he's this dude from Poland, and fuck, he's just got the craziest beats. I hope he's on here right now, but maybe he's not. That's weird hours. I think they're like, what, 8 hours ahead or some shit like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
But recently, I've just been like, going to his YouTube and just listening to his beats because he's just like, man, I've been waiting for years for a producer like him to come along. Just that has nonstop like hit after hit as far as the production's concerned, and I'll write on that, and then sometimes I'll add a little bit, but mostly it's start on some beats that I like, and write some lyrics, and sometimes it turns into something, sometimes it's nothing.
Yeah, so. Definitely. How do you find motivation in shit when negative things go down? How do you build yourself back up?
Again, on this, we're masters of our own destiny, right?
Yeah.
Refocusing my mind. We choose what we get to focus on every day. And we can use that negative energy to and create something positive, manifest a new song. And that's what Silhouettes, that's what happened with Silhouettes. That's how that came out the way it came out. And Get Out of My Way for that record, the record. That record's like, I am just washing my hands of all this, like middle fingers up, so when you have those feelings, like if you're listening to this, and you're just a music maker, you're an artist, whatever, you might be, that outlet might be different for you, but you have to, find a different way to express that negative energy, because self-harm, like for me, like with drinking and drugs, like that wasn't the answer. Not that there's anything wrong with doing it a little bit. I'm on a little bit of an extended sobriety break now, but like, it's not going to be forever. I think that we have to be careful with what we put in our bodies, feeds our souls and our minds, and yeah, shit.
Definitely. So on the third branded question here, the branches are the next part of the tree that are represented, and they stand for represent your experiences that you've had in life. Is there an experience in the last year that has really stood out to you, or maybe helped you grow as a person?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think just, again, talking to some of the issues that I've had with my, tight-knit group of friends and all that, like, I've had to learn to, like, be comfortable, even more comfortable in myself than ever. And I had a falling out with a lot of people, and that's, like, not that the bridges are burned forever, I hope not, at least, but, when times get tough, you gotta realize, the only person that you got at the end of the day is you. And I think those experiences have really kind of shaped me and my confidence into being a new person. So.
Awesome. Hey, shout out Hoofy. Thanks for coming through the chat, man. Hope you're still here. What's your favorite way to make somebody smile, man?
Shit, I love these positive questions.
Thank you.
Shit, man. I just try to be helping people honestly, just be helpful, be kind, be compassionate. I'm here to uplift anybody and everybody in any way that I can, as long as it doesn't take away from it's not to my detriment. You know what I mean?
Word.
Um, yeah.
That's awesome. Very well said. Um, Also, somebody that made you proud recently, and what is it that they accomplished that made you proud of them?
Yeah. I'd say, I've got so many good, amazing friends I've made over the past like 6 months or a year. And like my buddy Jordan, who I've been friends with, 23, he moved to Cali. He and Alex, his girlfriend, who's also one of my best friends, they, made a jump to go take this risk and live in Cali. And really, pursue their dreams as artists and creatives out there, in the midst of COVID. And it's a little crazy, but also really encouraging,
Yeah,
Uh, so if I had to keep it to just two people, it'd be them.
for sure. What is advice you might give somebody who may be timid or thinking about making music for the first time?
Know it's what you want, no, be sure. Don't be afraid to explore other avenues, because this is a competitive field. Um, but if it is, and you know that with your whole heart and soul, then fucking do it. That's what I
Hell
would
yeah.
say. Fuck what your parents think, fuck what your friends think, and you have to do what's honest to your light, follow your light, and that's the most important thing you can do. And that goes not just for people making music. That advice goes to anybody, any creative, or even if you're wanting to start a nonprofit or something along those lines.
Hell yeah, for sure. All right, I got a few like goofy questions before we get into a couple more serious ones before we end it off. So, do you remember the first music that you bought? At, like where the store was, and like
Yeah.
you bought with your first money, like the first CD, first music that
Yeah,
you bought.
you guys are gonna clown me on this one,
Oh,
but
they'll never get it out of me. I'll never answer that question.
I'll answer. I got no shame, man. Fuck that. Like, oh man, shit. Because all right, I'm gonna spill the beans. My brothers and I remember like it's like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and like Britney Spears records, but like maybe like I don't know, like 6 months later, I can't believe I just put that in the universe, but I did. I did. Oh man. Shit. After that, I mean, we figured out pretty quickly that wasn't the route for us once we had those records done. And I mean, we were into shortly thereafter, I remember like downloading Slipknot, like getting into like early Slipknot, where it's like, you know, their first two records kind of shits, and Korn, and then we moved into Rage Against the Machine and the punk scene. By like 13, 14, we were walking up to this record store and like getting all the shit we shouldn't have gotten, like KMFDM and all this crazy shit. But yeah.
Awesome. Are you a cereal person? Do you like breakfast?
Dude, I'm not.
No. Okay.
I used to be on the Reese's Puffs wave, but I got a sweet tooth for sure.
I was just
but,
gonna say about a sweet tooth. What's your favorite
oh,
dessert? Go-to
shit.
desserts.
I've been doing so. It used to be Chips Ahoy and milk, but I went vegan. Yeah,
Okay.
I went vegan, so that's out the window now because neither one of those things is vegan. So
Word.
it's just I'm on the Ben and Jerry's. I got a bad sugar habit now that I like quit smoking cigarettes and drinking. Like
Yeah.
it's just sugar all the time. So
There's like non-dairy ice cream that's like vegan friendly too.
I swear to God, yeah, I swear to
Okay,
God by the
okay.
Ben and Jerry's stuff. And if you're like me and like you still need a sugar fix, but you need to like save your pennies, like you can go to the Jewel and find them for like $3.99 a pint of the things.
Oh, that's
and
not bad at all.
Oreos are vegan too, so yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is there
More-
like a substitute for milk that like you could dip the Oreos in to still make it feel like you're dipping them in milk, or is it like nothing you can?
And there is nothing that's really the same as milk,
Yeah.
I mean, oat
True.
milk's fine, but once you're off the milk and all that for a couple months, the substitutes are decent. It's honestly, it's just like getting your palate adjusted. I don't know if you're in a craft beer or whatever, but like you can find yourself like noticing, or like a lot of people won't drink like IPAs right away, but after their palate adjusts, they'll fall in love with them. And I think it's the same thing when you like wean off the dairy shit. Like you get used to it. It's fine.
That makes sense. Do you watch any? Are you more of a TV show or a movie guy? Do you watch anything like Netflix, Hulu, anything like that?
I try to like keep it to a minimum. I say that, but then I'm like, you know, I like murder shit a lot. I got like a really bad palate for like, you know, the murder porn, as they say. And then, you know, stupid comedies and stuff like that. What have I been watching recently? My roommate and I have like totally polar opposite tastes. She likes musicals and like Disney stuff, and I'm like, you know, there's always like, we're trying to find middle ground. Usually we find that on like the artsy flicks. So I'd say stuff like, God, what's the one with Shawshank Redemption? One we watched the other night. So artsy flicks like that, you know.
Word, cool. All right, back to a couple more serious questions, and then I think that's all I got for you. Couple of ones that I ask everybody. What is success to you, man?
You know, shit. I mean, a year ago, I probably would have said happiness, but happiness is what we make of it, right?
True.
I think it's, you know, being able to, I think success for me would be having a platform where I can speak and tell truth, and also be able to lift up others in my community, my family, that kind of thing.
Cool. And so the last part of the tree that's represented is the leaves that come off the branches, and those are the lessons that you take from the experiences that you have. So what would you say is one of the most important lessons that you learned as a kid that you still carry with you today?
As a kid? Shit. I feel like the lessons I learned as a kid weren't the great ones.
Okay.
But that's all right. No, I think I could probably come up with something. I think face your fears is something I learned as a kid. I played football for 8 years. Nobody I'm not afraid of shit. Like, you know, like unless it was myself for many years, but like nobody else. I'm not scared of anybody else. You can't put me in a situation where I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I learned that lesson. Don't take shit from anybody. And
What position in football?
I played middle linebacker for a number of years. I played defensive line.
That's fire.
I am quite aggressive. So.
Perfect positions for that.
You know.
Definitely. And last one from me, man. What does truth mean to you?
Truth is subjective, you know. You got these great questions. I loved it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to think on that one.
Right.
You drew me. I think truth is subjective is the best answer I have for you now. And I know I'm gonna think of something in like 30 minutes. Motherfucker, I should have said that. But,
that's cool.
That's the best answer I got for you right now. I'm sorry.
No worries. I always plan on having people back multiple times. So and I'll always ask that question. The people that I have had on multiple times, I ask them multiple times, and their answer has been different every time. So it's really cool to see what it means to people from day to day, and just think about it and have one ready for next time, or think about it before you come on the interview next time, and
hell yeah,
you'll
man.
be ready.
I had so much fun today, dude. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Awesome. I had a blast too, man. Thank you so much. It was short notice, so I really appreciate it. So if you ever have music you want to come like preview, or like get some feedback from the chat, you want to talk about an upcoming release, whatever the fuck it is, you got something to get off your chest, talk some truth, man. That's what the platform's here for. So just give me a DM and let me know. I'll always be there for I love your music, so if you ever need anything, just let me know, bro.
Hell yeah. And can I do a little plug here for everybody who's listening?
Definitely.
Everyone, if you could, if you'd like to, that is, follow me